government explains why there have been no reports on the coronavirus situation in the country. Minister of Energy submits 2.2 trillion budget estimates in Parliament. And in sports, Simba SC refutes Kagere and Mkude transfer links. Good evening. This is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's start things off with the national news. The Minister of Health, Community Development, Gender, the Elderly and Children, Umi Mwalimu, has said that during the past 7 days there have been no reports on the coronavirus situation in the country due to measures currently being taken to improve efficiency of the National Health Laboratory. Minister Umi Mwalimu made the statement when launching a telehealth education center at Muhimbili National Hospital in Dar es Salaam.
Kwa kipindi cha takribani siku 7 wiki moja hatukuweza kutoa taarifa.
We were not able to give you an update in the last 7 days on the state of the COVID-19 in the country, given that we are carrying out some modification to the National Laboratory Community Services. Work is going on to be completed soon, after which we will continue to update the general public frequently on the state of the COVID-19 in the country. I would like to take this opportunity to urge and remind Tanzanians that this illness is still in the country and it is extremely dangerous and spreads very quickly, and people have been infected and some have died. Therefore, I would like to urge the general public to heed instructions given by the health personnel, but must not be fearful and recognize that this illness will be around for a couple of months, so we must learn to live with it.
Huku tukichukua tahadhari ya kujikinga kama yalivyo magonjwa mengine ya kuambukiza.
The Ministry of Energy has tabled its 2.2 trillion shilling budget estimates for the 2020-2021 financial year, which is focused on ensuring the country has reliable power. Contributing to the budget debate, some members of Parliament urged the Ministry of Energy to complete energy projects which have stalled in their constituencies.
Serikali itaendelea kuimarisha mifumo ya usafirishaji wa umeme nchini.
The government will continue to improve electricity supply networks in the country by completing various projects, including the Geita-Wilyankulu project, kilowatt 220, 55 kilometers long, and the 400 kilowatts northwest grid projects, 1,884 kilometers long, which will connect electricity from Iringa, MBEYA, Sumbawanga, Mpanda, Kigoma to Nyakanazi.
Kamati ilibaini kuwa mkandarasi anayetekeleza mradi wa Kinyerezi.
The committee has established that the contractor in charge of the Kinyerezi project had failed to honor his contractual responsibilities and has abandoned the project. Given this challenge, the committee would like to urge the government to find another contractor as soon as possible.
Wakandarasi hawafanyi kazi zile zinazotakiwa kwenye vijiji.
Contractors are failing to deliver. They don't connect electricity when funds have already been given.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs and East Africa Cooperation, Palamagamba Kabudi, has received a consignment of herbal medicine reported to treat and prevent the coronavirus from the government of Madagascar. The consignment was handed over to Minister Palamagamba Kabudi by the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Madagascar, Tehindra Zanarvelo Jacoba as Oliva, after arriving at Antananarivo International Airport. The handing over of the consignment of the medicine was marked with tasting of the herbal drink by the two ministers. And 5 people were killed and 14 others injured after a bus they were traveling in collided into a broken down lorry at Nyako Yondwa area in Geita region. The bus had been transporting mourners and the body of deceased from Arusha and heading to Bukoba when the accident occurred.
Tukio hili limehusisha magari mawili. Costa ambaye ilikuwa na abiria.
2 vehicles were involved in this accident. A minibus coming from Arusha with mourners on board who are going to Bukoba for the burial, and a Scania lorry. We have not been able to identify the driver. However, efforts to find him are ongoing. 5 people died and 14 have been injured.
Na watoto wa marehemu.
The Member of Parliament of Kishapu constituency, Masood Nchambi, has appeared in Shinyanga District Court to face 12 charges of economic sabotage. After the charges were read to him, the Member of Parliament of Kishapu was told he could not respond to the allegations as the court does not have the mandate to hear the case. MP SALAAM Masood Nchambi was returned to remand custody until the 11th of May when the case will come up for mention. MP Nchambi was arrested earlier this week by police at his residence in Lubaga area, where 16 guns, more than 500 bullets and meat alleged to be from wild animals was found in the house. Tanzania Rural and Urban Roads Agency Tarura in Moshi District has completed the construction of a temporary metal bridge at Riverao, allowing residents of 9 villages of Uru East and Uru Shimbwe wards to cross on foot, by motorbike and bajaj as of today.
We took the initiative to build the makeshift bridge in order to restore communication. The bridge will cost at least 600 million, of which application has been submitted to the relevant authority. It is very hard, especially when we have to go to the hospital, but this has somehow made it easier. This bridge makes it possible for us to do business. Previously, passengers had to pay to have someone help them cross over, but now we are able to use bajaji.
And 2 people, a man and his wife, are being detained by the police in MBEYA region for allegedly using the name of President Dr. John Magufuli's wife, Janet Magufuli, to get funds fraudulently through fake Facebook accounts.
Jeshi la polisi mkoa wa Mbeya linawashikilia watuhumiwa wawili. Mtuhumiwa wa kwanza ni Sofia.
Mbeya Police Force is holding 2 suspects. The lady is accused of opening a Facebook account of which she advertised that she was offering loan services, and applicants were required to send her 76,500 Tanzanian shillings beforehand.
Chanzo cha tukio ni tamaa ya kupata utajiri.
These acts were carried out by the 2 suspects. To acquire wealth, they made an attempt to kidnap a child who died in the process. Suspects were arrested on May the 7th this month. After a thorough investigation, it was established that the victim was hit on the head and forced to drink poison.
Wakati analia walimkaba kwenye koo. Katika kumkaba kwenye koo yule mtoto akawa amefariki dunia.
That's where we leave off with national news. International news is next. And now in international news. The number of coronavirus cases in Kenya has risen to 621 after 14 more patients tested positive for COVID-19. Out of the 14 new cases, 10 are from Nairobi, 3 from Mombasa, and 1 from Machakos County. Health Ministry Cabinet Administrative Secretary Rashid Ahmad said the new 14 cases were confirmed following the testing of 922 samples.
last 24 hours, we have tested 922 samples, out of which 14 have tested positive for COVID-19 disease. All 14 cases are Kenyans. This now raises the number of those who have tested positive in the country to 621. The overall number of samples that have been tested in our labs for COVID-19 so far is 29,430. When we disaggregate these positive cases by counties, the results for the last 24 hours show that 10 of these positive cases are from Nairobi, 3 from Mombasa, and 1 from Machakos. You will note that every day we make the briefing, 1 county or more join the list of those counties that have now registered COVID-19 positive cases. Today, Machakos becomes the latest county to record a positive case. This brings to 19 the number of counties that have registered cases of the disease.
And the Laboratory for Viral Diseases in Uganda has expressed concern on shortage of equipment used for testing coronavirus samples. Uganda is currently on its 3rd phase of lockdown after easing movement of workers such as lawyers, mechanics, wholesale merchants, metal and woodwork workshops.
We have kits for the next maybe 4 days, 5 days. We have those challenges, but we try to address them.
The processes were hampered a little bit for the teams to go out into the field.
1 of 5 coronavirus patients who escaped from Old Town Mombasa, prompting a manhunt by police, has been found dead, according to Mombasa Governor Ali Hassan Joho. The deceased man was found in a hideout with 3 others whom he had also escaped with.
Kuna watu ambayo wametestiwa.
There are people that have been tested the other day, 65 cases, 5 of whom tested positive, and instead of coming to our facilities for treatment, they've decided to take their families and go hide. Who are they helping?
Wale ambao wana provide essential service.
Those providing essential services in Old Town and other areas must volunteer to get tested.
Ni sharti wajitolee, waende wapimwe.
That's all for international news, but do stay with us. We'll be back with business news after this break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
We believe that the driver is the customer.
To change the mindset of traditional HR to the digitalization.
Make sure that everybody can get some access to financial services.
And once we understand the vision of our leaders, we then need to be behind them and help them in achieving that vision.
Business have involved mercantile operations, trade guilds, or shared agricultural production, infrastructure, construction, financial sectors, tourism, and mining. Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and now in business news. Price inflation during the month of April this year has declined to 3.3% from 3.4% in March. The National Bureau of Statistics says the decrease has been contributed to by a drop in some food and non-food items.
Na
hirisi za bei kati ya mwezi Machi 2020 na mwezi Aprili 2020.
Price inflation between March and April 2020 has been attributed to increase of food and non-food prices. Some of the food items that have contributed to the increase include fish by 1.4%, lemons by 5.7%, garlic by 3.4%, green peas by 4.0%, potatoes by 4.9%, and cassava by 5.9%.
Some traders in MBEYA region have started using the coronavirus pandemic as an excuse to stop issuing receipts to customers, saying they are doing so to prevent the spread of coronavirus infections.
Si tukienda kwenye maduka makubwa, maduka ya kawaida.
When we go to big or middle-sized shops and buy a product, if we ask for a receipt, we are told there is corona. This makes us question, what does corona have to do with receipts when you are supposed to receive receipts when you buy goods?
Kuna wafanyabiashara ambao wanahusisha utoaji wa receipts.
They are traders that relate giving of receipts and using the POS machines with coronavirus. If asked, they blame not giving receipts on corona. I want to use this opportunity to warn all traders in MBEYA region who have the POS machines but do not give receipts that we have already formed a task force that will go through the region. Anyone that is caught will be responsible for paying according to TRA regulations.
Kinachohusisha TRA pamoja na vyombo vingine mbalimbali.
The government in MTWARA region has warned leaders of cooperative unions found to embezzle money from sesame farmers that legal action will be taken against them. The warning was given by MTWARA Region Commissioner Gelasius Biakanwa when opening a meeting to discuss the sesame buying season, which starts next month.
A farmer can do all this but not get what they are expecting if there continues to be embezzlement within cooperative unions. As you've witnessed in the meeting, we have emphasized that we need to ensure we have cooperative leaders that are diligent. But my office and those of the district commissioners will continue to oversee and make sure action is taken against all leaders involved in embezzlement. Based on the decisions made by the region, it will enable farmers to get the payment they deserve based on the market, and even buyers will not need to travel to the villages. They will make purchases from their offices.
That's where we leave off with business news. Sports is next.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's going to be dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's going to be dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Opposition, Joaquinho, he did lose to Len.
And now in sports news. Simba SC have denied reports that they have received offers for key players Jonas Mkude and Medi Kagere. Here is the story.
According to reports in Tanzania, the mainland giants have reportedly been approached by the Democratic Republic of the Congo's tout peasant Mazembe and Spain's Levante UD for the service of Mkude and Kagere respectively. However, Simba Information Officer Haji Manara has clarified they have not received any offer regarding the transfer of the two players, insisting when such offers come, they will gauge them. Manara added that any information concerning the club is disclosed after communicating with the club's CEO Senzo Masingiza and after filtering the information to be released.
Simba Sports Club player Hassan Dilunga stated he was left on cloud 9 after former Everton player Tim Cahill posted his corner flag boxing celebration style in his Twitter handle. Here's more.
It was a day when Dilunga punished his former employer Mtibwa Sugar as he contributed the third goal preceding John Boko and Mohamed Hussein's strikes in the 3-0 demolition of the Morogoro-based side to grab a crucial 3 away points in the mainland Premier League match. Immediately after scoring, the attacking midfielder rushed to the corner flag and punched it repeatedly before attracting his teammates, who later joined him in the celebration. He added after the game, his friends were the ones who told him the style was popularly used by Cahill during his active period of play and that he instantly started to watch his Cahill's flag-punching celebration tactics.
Top flight players are to hold talks with Premier League executives next week before any attempt to restart the football season can be signed off on.
Players are to be given the chance to air any concerns over project restart in a video conference call likely to include representatives of all 20 clubs. The discussion will follow the Premier League shareholders meeting on Monday when finished versions of protocols defining a return to training and competitive matches are to be debated. In a process set to involve the Professional Footballers Association and the League Managers Association, players will then be consulted on the proposals before a select group holds talks with league officials. Sheffield United's manager Chris Wilder said on Thursday that he would allow players to opt out if the season restarts.
The Bundesliga season will restart on Saturday, 16th May, the German Football League DFL said on Thursday, making it the first major European league to resume amid the coronavirus epidemic. Here's more.
The DFL said the campaign would resume under the terms of a strict health protocol that bans fans from attending games, with several matches including the derby between Borussia Dortmund and Schalke taking place on the relaunch day. The Bundesliga and the country's second division got the go-ahead on Wednesday from Germany's Chancellor Angela Merkel to restart in the second half of May. The date was announced after a meeting via video link involving the clubs and was the earliest permissible start. The DFL is desperate to finish the season by 30th of June to be contractually in compliance with sponsors and broadcasters.
Tottenham Hotspur striker Son Heung-min was named one of the top 5 recruits in his unit as he finished 3 weeks of compulsory military training in South Korea. Here is more on this story.
Korea's Marine Corps posted pictures of Son wielding an M16 assault rifle and saluting on their Facebook page as he completed his stint at a boot camp. All able-bodied South Korean men are obliged to serve in the military for nearly 2 years, making up the bulk of Seoul's 600,000 strong forces who face off against North Korea's army of 1.3 million. But Son, the top Asian goal scorer in Premier League history and the Asian Football Confederation's reigning International Player of the Year, was in the South Korean team that earned an exemption by winning gold at the 2018 Asian Games in Indonesia.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. On behalf of everyone who worked to bring you this bulletin, my name is Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching. Have a good night and continue to stay safe.
You can watch Capital News live on our social media accounts, YouTube Capital TV and Facebook Capital Television Tanzania from Monday to Friday at 9:30 p.m. Don't forget to subscribe and put notification on.